I have started, so started in the race room, so we will be starting momentarily here. This is game 3, as I said, between two of probably the favorites to win the tournament. Uh, First game was decided by some little minor shifts in items. Uh, Early action here. Sword, linked out, go in Sanctuary. The first game was decided by Chex going to Zora to get the P, found Big P. That changed things a bit for him. Caused him to get in go mode just before heading to Ganon Tower, where Krithel went to find a batch of speed items. Chex just took a little too long to get around. Game 2. Krithel won game 1. Game 2. Chex looked like he had lead anyway, but Krithel never really had a chance in that game given his hardware. He was on Super NT for game 2. I think there was a compass on the deck. He was on Super NT for game 2. Super NT cannot do certain glitches. And unfortunately, that became an issue. Krithel was not able to beat Swamp Palace without searching an extra 20 minutes to find the item he needed. So he has changed hardware and switched from Super NT to Mister. You were here early, probably saw that on the screen. You can now be able to do those glitches. So bombs on one of the tree poles. I'm guessing that is two. First one had to do a pickup on X's. Krithel smooth, I'm guessing this has two. No one can do the new fast hop to the Zora ledge item. Krithel tried it there and got himself trapped, I think. Chex is rescuing the old man. Krithel heading to his home. Another sword already. So, send it in ice. No problems with my mic. Wonderful. I would try the one thing I know to try to fix that. If I had to do push to talk, that's really bad given what I'm trying to track here. Let me know if I sound better now. In fact, I'll try to fix that right now. Alright, if that's not fixed, I have to go to push to talk. Let me know. The Master Sword for Chex. Krithel probably headed up the mountain now, but go Kakariko. So that lamp that Krithel has, I believe, was in Ice Rod Cave. Chex has not made it over there yet. Alright, so swords will not be an issue here. Now with Master Sword. AT small, not especially interesting, but can get used. Alright, Chex already up to silver arrows there on the library. Just a pair of red 20s in the 2 free items in Hera. Alright, big key to get in the Sauron Spectacle Rock. That is a cave state key that could keep our runners away from doing the front of escape. Alright, so Graveyard Ledge probably then into Houlihan to fill up on bombs and money for Krithel. Actually wants the arrows. Did he get the bow? And I didn't notice it. I suspect he did. Yeah, I did. Missed that first chest there in the well. Krithel has weapons and bombs for South Shore, so he'll do at least the dam and Mini Moldorm before going to Kakariko. Probably get a King's Tomb check out of that too. Alright, stop with the items, guys. That's a glove and shovel, I think, there in Blind's hut, and then the book in the dam. Saving quit out of Kakariko, not heading down to Desert. Another sword. Alright, so easy swords this seed. Chex is going to take his glove to the Sanctuary basement. Nice big key. Only thing of interest there. And ether out of Mini Moldorm Cave. Also a pod small that could technically become useful at some point. Krithel gets money out of King's Tomb there. Check's gonna get sword and book here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark those. So Krithel heading to East Death Mountain now. Checks cleaning up what Krithel did on South Shore. I did not see the Spectral Rock item, but Krithel doesn't want it. Big key to Eastern, then Spiral Cave. So we have the bow and big key to do Eastern easily. So we may see that soon from Krithel. Not right away, apparently. So let's see. He has... One of them got a GT big, and I don't have it marked. That was on Spectacle Rock. There we go. Krithel has the GT big, so he could head straight to Pod right now. Right, Check's gonna get the lamp out of Ice Rod Cave. Krithel going back to East Death Mountain for something. I thought he'd cleared it out. I guess not. I'm not sure what I thought I saw, but okay. Bottle there in the bottom of Paradox Cave. Hyrule Castle Small, Samaria, and the Castle Tower Small. Alright, so Chex once again going to grab Zora. This was a surprising move in the first race that sort of helped in the beginning, arguably hindered him at the end. Not really going to matter this time unless he's low on money. Alright, Krithel gonna finish Cack. He'll get glove, shovel, and silvers. I wonder if Chess cares enough about the money to grab this red here. Oh, blue boomerang. I missed that the first time around. So that's not irrelevant. That could come into play, be used in combinations with other items later for some glitches. Alright, first chest in the well. I missed this the first time around on Chex's side. But it's nothing. So Chex hasn't done EDM yet. He could do that here. Looks like he will. So the island item that I missed, just arrows. We're gonna get, what are we gonna get out of Spiral Cave here? A big key? I think the eastern big key. Sick kid new check there, but it's nothing. Yep, Eastern big for checks. So one thing... Let's see. Krithel must have been to Saucer and got the information about ice, and I didn't mark it. So Krithel headed to the race games screen. I don't think Chex actually looked at this. No, he didn't. Ooh. Okay, so we get a map wrap here to Eastern for Krithel. He's doing this before he gets his silvers there. So that map wrap, a little dangerous. You cannot move right once you make that transition, or you hard lock. I think hard lock. Ice Palace. What was it? Ice Rod, excuse me, there in Eastern. Alright, so Chex going to clean up this stuff at the probably shovel spot race game and head to Desert. Probably will not do the map rep that Krithel did, but he could. Pretty sure he knows about it. Alright, big key to Turtle Rock there at the dig spot. I didn't catch that map check on Chex's side. Big key to Thieves in the Eastern big chest. So Krithel having a normal Eastern Palace here. Well, if anyone cared about pod smalls, we're doing okay on those this seed. So we'll probably get a bomb clip up the ledge here into Desert. It's interesting that Krithel sort of kind of orphaned the library. Does not care about that small key on race game. Map to Misery Mire is nice. We got that from Armos there. We got a crystal out of Eastern. Again, Chex did map check in the light world, but I didn't catch it, so he might know about that, but I don't know that he knows. Krithel doing a bomb juke in the door to get this big key chest a little faster. Just a piece of heart. Chex doing a Samaria glitch to check the Thieves' attic, bomb and open early. Not sure if he'll continue in Thieves, but it looks like he will do something. What's he gonna do? Okay, so he was practicing a little Samaria plus bomb clip to swamp from the Thieves' attic. It looks like he will not do that. Okay, so he's stealing a key to have a desert small key out of Thieves there. Death warping back to Thieves. We could see a couple different things using that right side desert door. Ooh, Krithel setting up an overworld conveyor here. Looks like he is headed to Cave State Mire. Okay, so Titan's Mitts there is the first check on right side desert. Not especially interesting in this mode. We can get around most of the things we need the mitts for with glitches. In fact, all of the things we need mitts for. But it does give you a little extra speed if you want it. So Krithel headed to Mire, Chex headed to Swamp. May not look like that right away, but that's what's happening. Second castle tower key for Krithel there. And Chex is in Swamp. Chex thinking a little about what he wants to do here. Big key to desert, small key to Mire there. Let's see, he doesn't have flippers, so he's not going to... Yeah, he'll death warp here. Interesting that he's death warping. That means he wants to do more in desert, I think. Hook shot. There in Mire, in the lobby chest. Okay, so we got Lamp, Samaria, and Hookshot, so we have pretty good hook pushing. I think that's right. So, chat's starting to wonder about go mode. We don't have a way, we don't have a fire rod to kill. Wow, second bottle. One of them had a bottle. It's not marked. I think it's Krithel that had a bottle. So now he's got two. Alright, so Chex going back to Thieves from Desert now that he got the Desert Big Key out of Swamp. So he'll beat Desert. Well, he'll beat Blind here. He'll get the Desert Prize from Blind and then re-enter and get the Thieves Prize. Oh, Chex has a bottle. I may have mismarked. Hammer in Blindside. Wow, this is a fairly generous seed. We're pretty loaded on both sides here. That hook shot, though, in Mire on Krithel's side is more important than anything Chex has, I believe. Wow, okay, so Mire is Ether, and we both players have that. So that is interesting. That is useful. Krithel thought about doing something in Mire and will not. I think he wants the Mire shed and then he'll go. Oh, that's why he left. Yeah, so he had the Mire map from somewhere. Big key to Skull Woods. That is the Desert Crystal from Blind there. Krithel. Okay, so he was in fake Dark World, so he transitioned screen is back in the Light World, so now he's doing Checkerboard. Probably do something similar to what Chex is doing here. Town is a crystal. Desert is a crystal. Powder? Wow. Just gonna get everything, aren't we? So, sort of a big deal, though, that Krithel has that hook shot out of Meyer. That seems like it's going to be a big difference in this race if Chex can't make it there pretty soon. All right, so Thieves Town completion there for... Ooh, Krithel's doing something. Not sure what, but it's interesting. Looks like he wants a heart to do the quadrant glitch, I guess. Yeah, that's what he wants. So Chexhuman clearing out the village of yeah, he'll just death warp to get health. Chexhuman clearing out the village of outcasts. He is, I believe, in Fake Dark World. Pretty sure that's right. So he can only do this screen. So Krithel now has enough health to do the quadrant glitch. He with the mitts here. I think that's right. Check's thinking about what he wants to do. Sure, we'll just check magic back the regular way. So Krithel, I think, because of his hardware change, can no longer auto-track, so I'm going to mark that he has a glove, the Titan's mitts, but he may not know it for a little while. We'll have to see how he behaves. Doesn't matter much anyway. Alright. Check sees that Eastern is a crystal. He can full clear that, so that's probably soon on the agenda. Right, maybe we'll get a look here. Well, no, maybe Krithel will just hook push and probably just gonna hook push. So we probably won't see how many bottles Krithel has. Nope. Okay, so I think Krithel actually... I think he might have 2 bottles, but I'm gonna wait to change my mark. Right, well, hopefully he'll go potion shopping after this. And let's see, I don't know if this is one of the things he's now able to do on his new hardware. I think it is, though. I think he would not have been able to do the YBA to Landmo that he just did. At least, not with the red potion. So, obviously, I did not notice that item there on Landmo. But Krithel does have the crystal and boss kill completion for Desert. Okay, so Chex is actually going to light the torches. We'll see if I can see Krithel's items here. I did not. That was a little fast. Looks like he's quick swapping through to see if he notices anything. Alright, so just a pod key on the Landmo there. Alright, Check's now probably headed to Eastern. He can full clear it, and nope. Just kidding, he's going to Hobo first. So Krithel, I'm gonna go ahead and mark that he's beaten Hera. I think we can handle Moldorm with Tempered Sword. Now we're headed to Eastern on Chex's side. Right, so map of ice not useful. We already knew from Sahasrahla that ice is the green pendant. We might have enough maps to be worth a map check in Dark World. I'm not sure, though. Mire was the big one, and Krithel checked that by being in Mire. Yeah, so we see Pod and Thieves are crystals on Krithel's side. New information for him. My tracker is not working. That's not good. There we go. And so, okay, so Chex is going to do a new, it's early. Chex is going to do a newish, does that work on the, if this works, I didn't know about it. Chex is doing a new setup to get the Eastern Big Key chest. Yes, that does work. So Chex doesn't know it, but that was the ice rod there. In that Eastern Cannonball Room chest. And then I'm pretty sure this was nothing here. He's being careful about his camera. You can continue. Oh no, he can just, yeah. No, he can continue under the right conditions, and these are the right conditions. Let's see, I'm not sure. I think I saw him get the map chest. Looks like he's gonna head to Mire now. Okay. Right, so I think we're gonna see a bottle here in Thieves, unless I already missed it. Powder. Okay. That was one of the things. So Chex headed to Mire. He's here in Eastern State. He could beat Vitreous. He doesn't know this is a pendant. But this might be good for him. As long as he checks the lobby chest, he'll get his hook shot, so that won't be a big advantage that Krithel has for at least very long. Alright, so chat is pointing out that once Chexhuman gets this hook shot, both runners are possibly in go mode if Turtle Rock were our last pendant. So we'll have to see if either of them gets aggressive about maybe trying to dupe the... Well, maybe that's not what you'd do. But they could dupe the Turtle Rock prize just to see what it is. It's a little tedious to do with this equipment. You might like to see the pearl or mirror before you do that. Okay, so checks this. What's he gonna do here? So he could just get the I forgot the hammer was there. He could just get the big key chest, but he could also head to Hera afterwards and grab the... I don't know why he'd do that. He could grab the Eastern prize out of Hera. He'd have to fight Moldorm. He hasn't done that yet. Alright, so Krithel is here in Thieves state. He's just going to get the Thieves Crystal here. So, okay. Good thing Chex is not forgetting this chest. He will get his hook shot. He is right now, though, down two crystals to 4. They are quick crystals that he's missing, but he's behind and has roughly the same material. So Krithel probably headed to Swamp here, probably going to hook push to the back of... Okay, so it's Chex that has a bottle that Krithel doesn't. I think that's the case here. Krithel probably going to hook push to the back of Skull just to beat Mothula and find out what the prize is. Alright, so Chex going through Myers, still in Eastern State. Looks like he's going to beat Vitreous. He may just walk there. He may do it more quickly with a hook push. Looks like he's deciding he doesn't feel like trying to set it up. He'll just walk. So Krithel setting up a hook push here to the back of Skull. There we go. He wants to beat Mothula to discover the Skull prize. And for that matter, he will acquire it. So unfortunately, Chex is going to beat Vitreous and not get the information that he doesn't need to on this trip. I think he'll just be able to walk right back into... Krithel is death warping. I'm not sure he wanted to do that. Okay. So he hook pushed just for the... Oh, maybe he forgot he wanted to get this Skull Big Key chest and wasn't going to be able to do it after beating Mothula. Right, so Chex gets the Eastern Palace Crystal from Vitreous. And gets Vitreous down, but doesn't need Vitreous down. So a little unfortunate for him. Ah, okay. So Krithel needed that small key. That's my mistake. So he needs to be able to open the door to get to Mothula. And he didn't have that before. I didn't see whether... Didn't see whether Chex went into Mire to... Whoops. Check the... Well, he'll do it now. So let's see, I'm pretty sure he has the Mire map. I think that was in Thieves. No, he does not. That is unfortunate. So he will now go to Hera and get his Mire pendant out of Hera. I forget where that Mire map was. Alright, so a little hover. You could also bomb jump there to light the top torch with the lamp. We're just walking through the back of Skull here. No major glitches required. At least not once we're here with the hook push. Ooh, there is the Moon Pearl on Mothula, and it is a crystal. I think that establishes a pretty good lead for Krithel. Doing things in the right order, not getting the Mire pendant and the Vitreous skill, never gonna have to do those things. So Krithel now headed to Palace of Darkness. He knows this is a crystal. And there are a bunch of items, so pretty obvious play to make here. Also has a lot of bombs and pots. Useful now that he's out of bombs. Small key to ice. If we were to ever go to ice, that'd make it a little nicer, but unlikely. Ooh, wow. So I think Krithel not going to do anything at all in pod. Maybe, though, he knows he has the big key and small keys. But I think he's going straight for Helmasaur here. So he's maybe in go mode. He can't be sure. Maybe he is sure and I'm just not sure. But I think it's between Swamp and Turtle Rock for the last pendant, as far as I know. But given that he's going for Helmasaur right away, maybe he knows. Maybe he's taking the 50-50 chance. Reasonable thing to do. Alright, Chex right behind him heading into pod. Alright, so we're doing a statue drag here to get to Helmasaur. And there's Helmosaur. Right, so Chex is going to clear more of Pod here. Gonna be tough for him to find something that's really gonna help him. It'd have to be Fire Rod. I think it'd have to be a Fire Rod. Maybe Flippers or Mirror would be nice. I guess Flippers would be really nice if Swamp is that last crystal. We still want to know. Wait, why did that? Okay. Alright, Check's not getting anything out of Pod that's useful. So, apparently, Nightbot is not responsive, so I will explain what no logic is. Alright, Krithel doing a sort of interesting glitch there. A super drop from Death Mountain to get him all the way to the bottom of the map in Swamp Palace. So he's going to do some hook pushing. He's probably just trying to discover the swamp prize for now. He's going to dupe the crystal out of Hera just to get this information about whether swamp is his last crystal. And it is. So Krithel now is pretty clearly in go mode and pretty clearly in the lead. He has the swamp crystal. He doesn't have much left to do here. Needs to beat Argus. That's easy enough from Desert. And that's it, right? Unless I'm miscounting. So pretty much all the hard dungeons are pendants. And see, he needs a way to Aga 2. He's got the pearls, so that's not a problem. And so, aggressive discovery of his prizes when he's possibly in go mode. Giving Crystal a huge advantage in this race, it looks like. Yeah, so I did miss a bottle somehow on Krithel's side. He has at least 2. Alright, so no logic. Normally in randomizers, items are placed in such a way that seeds are always beatable, assuming you play normally. However, in this mode, we place items without regard to any such rules for beatability. And we are expected to be able to clear the seeds with whatever glitches are legal, which is almost all of them, except 1 or 2 very powerful ones. Chex is going to, well, they're both going to demonstrate glitches here. That map was not an accident. He needs that for later. This is double rods, so there are 2 of each rod in the item pool. Otherwise, it would be possible for one of the rods to be on Trinex and the seed to be unbeatable if Turtle Rock were a crystal. So this prevents seeds from being unbeatable that way, which covers almost every plausible way a seed could be unbeatable in no logic. So Death Hole there for Krithel. if he hadn't mapped, the screen would be black, and he needs to dodge some invisible pits there. Right, we have a murder bomb on Chex's side. I think that's a major glitch. Interesting that he took damage there, I think, after. Took damage from his own murder bomb, I think. Alright, so Krithel, I didn't mark it, but that is Swamp done for Krithel. That is 7 crystals for him. He is headed to Aga 2, which is required. Technically, we could get to Ganon otherwise, but I don't think he'd let us beat him. Alright, so Krithel is going to do a Samaria glitch here. So he checks his probably headed to Skull here. Going to do something. Nope. He's going to check Hype Cave here. Very likely going to check Hype Cave here. So some shenanigans for Krithel, and he is now in the Aga 2 fight. Alright, Flute there in Hype Cave, not useful, certainly not at this point. Alright, so Krithel clipes out there of the Aga 2 fight, despawns the bat, and gets instantly fluted to the pyramid for the fight with Ganon. So Krithel, interestingly, never got those silvers off of Lumberjack. Excuse me, the library. I didn't see the text there, so I don't know what information Chex got about the other 5/6 crystal. I think it has to be Swamp, but I'm not sure. But Chex definitely got information that either, well, can't be sure what information he got. Unfortunately, not gonna matter. It looks like Swamp is the 5/6 crystal. That's what I thought was happening there. So he doesn't know between Skull and Turtle Rock what his last crystal is. And one would think this this bunny DMD, Death Mountain Descent, is to head to Skull to discover that information. He will get the information that that Skull is a crystal and the pearl is on. Oop. Okay, so that gains Chex a little more time here. Probably not enough though. Krithel falling on Ganon. Alright, so Chex is going to do the same hook push here in the front of Skull to get him to the back. He has a key, doesn't need to steal one the way Krithel did. Yeah, so he's going, you know, only getting a few items. Gonna get in the item there on, well, no, maybe he's gonna I'm not sure what he's doing. Looks like he wants some more items here. And he's still unsure whether he needs a fire rod. So this is very conservative play from Chex. Huh. I'm not sure why he isn't just going straight for the dungeon prize to discover whether he's in go mode. I mean, I don't know what would... I guess the pearl, not having the pearl is... not having the pearl or fire rod, I guess? I don't know. Should be able to get around both. Excuse me. Should be able... Well, couldn't get around fire rod if Turtle Rock turned out to be a crystal. But I feel like he should. Okay, so he's doing the hook push from down here. Unfortunately, not gonna matter. So Krithel finishes in under an hour with a time of 56 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, so Chex was just hook pushing to north to the room he needed to be in to hook push to the back of Skull. Alright, so here he is, back of Skull. Already has the key, won't need to steal it. Alright, and we are joined by Krithel.
Hello.
Well, good game. Nice fast seed for you.
Yeah, that was blazing fast, that one.
So I don't remember. Well, I can tell you the overall difference here is that Chex has been a little more conservative. You were in pod about the same time, but you did not go to the back at all. You wanted to know that final crystal there.
Yeah, I was. I should have gone and checked beforehand. I just forgot how I was going to check, and then realised on my way to pod. So I kind of knew as soon as I realised that I wasn't clearing pod with the 50-50 chance of being in go mode. You've got to go for it.
Yep. Unfortunately, Chex did not go for it. He had a little less information than you, I think. Mm-hmm. The way he discovered Meyer was a pendant was by beating Vitreous and getting the pendant out of Hera.
Yeah, that map was useful because I was, once I see outside Ether, I was definitely going back into the city. Seeing that was a pendant definitely saved a chunk of time.
Yeah, where was that map? Because Chex did not get it.
I don't know.
There were very few places that
kind of early to mid game.
Yeah, very few places you went that Chex didn't, but it did get you that map. That was a big difference.
Yeah, such a small thing can make a huge difference.
Right, so Chex gets his crystal from Skull. I'm not sure. Is that full information for him? I think it is. Yeah, it is. So he just now learned Turtle Rock is a pendant. He only needs to... What does he need to do? He needs to boss and prize from Swamp and just boss from Eastern. Yeah, so he full cleared Pod, full cleared Mire, and has been doing more otherwise. Very conservative sort of clear for him. Whereas you went very aggressive there at the end to get your information.
Very early, I knew it was, you know, if TR was a pendant, we were in go mode with the ridiculous equipment set we got very early. And so I knew I was going to play aggressive. It was very unlikely, certainly at the start, that TR was a pendant. Once I learned Maya was a pendant, I think it's a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance. I think it was 1 in 4. And then once I beat Skull, it started to narrow down.
Yeah, one other thing, you went to Mire with that overworld conveyor pretty early, therefore had that hook shot a lot earlier. Didn't use it, but you were probably thinking about it for longer than Chex was.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, it opens up options, so, you know, I know I'm in a much more comfortable go mode, so I can be more aggressive when I have that hook shot, even if I don't end up using it a lot, like in this scene.
Ah, and there's that Mire map. It was on Armos. So, unfortunate choice there for Chex not to clear Eastern, and instead, once he did the main body of Eastern, he YB'd to Mire. So, big difference in the race, that choice. Yeah, so you are no longer playing on Super NT.
I am not. At least not for this race.
Yeah, after a tragic end to Game 2, where maybe Chex had a lead anyway, but you never had a chance because your hardware did not allow you to beat Swamp the way you really needed to. You are in Mr.
The bigger troubles, but yeah, so I've switched over to the Mr. No auto tracking, which is a shame, but I can VRAM.
Yeah, so did you have that on hand and were reluctant to switch, or?
Yeah, I played on Mr. before I got Super NT. It was the first console I had. I just really like the niceties of auto tracking and MSUs. So, with regular no logic, it's actually not as big a deal as it seems, but with double rods, it's definitely more common that you're going to hit a seed where you get done in by Swamp. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't have. I mean, I haven't played either for a while. But the double rods makes it much more likely.
Yeah, just by virtue of go modes being much faster. You know, you're not as likely to run across because you need some Mario.
Ah, right, yeah. So you're often on a rod hunt where you find whatever you need for Swamp anyway.
Yeah, the delayed go mode makes it. I mean, well, the match against Game 2 against Chex was the first time I've really lost a game from Super NT, so it's pretty rare. Even then.
So Chex has the prize out of Swamp now. He has Eastern done, so just needs Argus and then can go to Agatu and Ganon. So pretty straightforward. So you got the, I don't know whether you maybe ever noticed, but you actually got the mitts off the right side of Desert. How soon did you know?
Well, I menued immediately after Death Warping, so I did a little menu and picked it up straight away. Didn't really do much for me, at least I didn't use them, I don't think, but nice to know.
Chex actually has the flute. I was in Hype Cave.
Ah. And where was Silvers?
Silvers were Silvers were on the library. That was an interesting skip there for you. Wondering if that was going to matter.
Oh, that's fine.
So Chex having a little trouble measuring his health here, setting up the death hole. I'm not sure what his policy is on having the race room open. I'm not sure if he knows you've finished. But he's continuing anyway. All right, so if you were to, I know you're way later than me, but it might not be too late for you. However, if you were to want to head out, you are welcome.
I'm happy to hang around.
You know, maybe talk to Chex when the seed's
Yeah.
over. So, seemed straightforward, seemed very generous, clear choice to be aggressive. Anything else stand out for you in the seed?
No, this is one of those, very quick seeds, which, I mean, they're scary in their own way, right? You know, a few different decisions, this can easily flip. Aggressive seeds can play to my strength sometimes, but obviously things like Ganon Falls don't make you feel great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got its own challenges, even when the seed just piles all the glitching items on you, and no TR needed was an absolute blessing.
Yeah, Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock all have their own problems. Maybe you'd like Swamp rather than Ice to be a
Mire was
pendant.
probably easier this seed, just because we had hook pushing then, but
Yep.
certainly Ice and TR are pretty nice to have as pendants for a speedy seed like this.
Yeah, so under 57 minutes and an 83 collection rate. Where does that rate? Where does that rate for you on your fastest seeds?
Has to be pretty much my lowest collection rate ever. I think this is my fastest, certainly no logic seed. Doesn't get much nicer than this.
So you are moving on. You will face the winner of Red Kitsune and Malmo. Those races are scheduled. I saw them on the schedule. I don't know when, though.
A Super Thursday, I think. I think they're all scheduled for this Thursday.
Oh, that's right. So they have a 1 a.m. race for their game 1. And then they start at noon, and that's a potential doubleheader if game 3 is necessary. So early Thursday morning, and then Thursday midday. Let's see, I didn't mark Swamp. All right, so should probably mark. All right, so Chex headed to the Ganon fight. So the only items we didn't really see were Flipper's Mirror, and neither of you found either Fire Rod.
Yeah, both fire rods are missing.
So if you had Mr. before, why did you switch to Super NT?
Auto tracking and MSUs.
Ah.
Almost entirely that. They're very similar in terms of capabilities, and I like being lazy. So when I realised it wasn't that much of a downside not to be able to VRAM, rather than having to switch consoles all the time, I just ended up maining Super NT.
Right, so let's see. I think Super NT can't do VRAM because something about not being able to do two things at once, something like HDMA and DMA at the same time, something like that. How much have you looked into this issue about the technical details?
I admit, not very much. I just know it's inconsistent, I guess.
So do you know whether the Super NT issue is ever likely to be fixed? I think I've heard that it is not likely to ever be fixed.
From everything I've heard, it's unlikely. It's certainly not something that's on the priority list. So And GG to Chex.
Yeah, Chex finishes with a time of 109.45, and we will see if we get him in here for an interview. And then the Mister, do you know if it's ever likely to support the things the NT doesn't?
There's been some discussion. Again, I think that's unlikely. It's a kind of deep change that needs to be made. So, it's a lot of these things are at the goodwill of developers, or sitting down and learning yourself. One of the two. So, we'll see. It's definitely a possibility, but it's going to take some work. It's not an easy change.
Yeah, Mister is, I believe, an entirely volunteer project.
It is, yeah. Yeah, a very big community around that. A fantastic piece of kit.
Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so Chex says he will join us for an interview here. Alright, so one of your bottles was admired. Do you remember the first one? Because I didn't mark it when you guys got it the first time.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Where's that first bottle? It's very early, because I knew with that red potion I was trying to work out what I wanted to do. It must have been East Death Mountain, I think. Maybe Paradox Cave, although I'm not 100% sure on that. It was definitely very early.
That does sound right, even though I didn't mark it. You might have actually bought the potion in Paradox Cave.
I came preloaded with the red, thankfully. Which I could actually use on this console. I'd have had to dump that out if I wanted to do much with it. Oh, it certainly would have changed my routing, because I couldn't have done land mode when I did it without a green on Super NT. So.
Exulting in your ability to do VRAM land mode this seed.
Yes. Yeah, the plan was to dump out the red so I can replace it with a blue, and on the way to doing that, found a bottle with a blue in. Which was nice.
Let's see. Chex says he's interviewing. Still has yet to come in here. He might be taking care of things after the race before coming in here. So what else is going on the schedule here? We have two races unlikely to have finished as quickly as this one. Going on.
Have you hit done for him on the tracker?
Oh. Is that a problem?
Yeah, I think that's going to trigger giving him the interview link.
Where's that? Give me that. That is the problem. That's my fault. All right. Sorry about that, Chex. All right, so we should have Chex in here momentarily. There he is in the setup room. And there he is.
Hello.
Hello, GG.
Good game there, Chex.
Me?
So, decisions there. Couple small ones sort of made the difference. Krithel finished out Eastern and got that Mire map before heading to Mire, which you didn't have, causing you to do a bit more in Mire there.
I would have, if I had known Mire was a pendant, though, I would have never gone in.
Yeah, Krithel got there with a cave state overworld conveyor from the ether tablet that got him the hook shot pretty early.
I figured so. That's what Krithel likes to do.
You know it. And then popped my head out, saw we had ether. Popped my head back in, saw it was a pendant, and then just bailed on it and went to desert. Which ends out quite nicely. nicely.
Yeah, so another part is Krithel was fairly aggressive once he realized he could be in go mode without the fire rod. You were a little more thorough at the end there.
Yeah, that's basically the way I am. So, got into go mode when I saw that Mothula dropped the 6th crystal. Or 5th. Since I still had to do swamp. Yeah. So I guess that was pretty late. Yeah. So 45 seconds off my PB. I'm pretty thorough. So huge GG's to Krithel for this monster time. I didn't see that till I finished.
Yeah, I thought maybe you didn't.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an absolutely wild seed. And obviously, if TR is needed, who knows, would still be going now. Who knows where those fire rods are?
Yeah, so very generous seed early on with all the swords and a couple bottles. And many other things showing up early. Samaria, hammer, bow.
We really did get everything we needed. You know, you could even skip Maya and not get the hook shot and still be fairly comfortable this seed. Well, obviously, the hook push was nice for things like Swamp. Duping that crystal.
Yeah, probably important for your particular choice of being aggressive. That allows you to check those things very quickly.
Yeah, it's a huge safety net for me just powering through and hoping TR is an appendant. Not TR is a pendant, sorry.
So I think sort of straightforward seed, straightforward conservative play there for you, Chex. Anything stand out to you about the seed?
I started doing everything from desert. So that was kind of fun. Interesting sequence with the big key showing up. Yeah, other than that, pretty straightforward. Thanks all.
Yep. So Krithel is moving on. He'll be waiting for the winner of some matches on Thursday. Chex will be moving into the lower bracket, and you've got, I think, a couple of rounds to wait to see who your next opponent is. So you'll be waiting a while to play, unfortunately. So
that's okay.
All right, so fast seed here today. Good game again to both players. Any last thoughts from either of you?
I just want to say thank you for both commentating and tracking. Not easy and no logic, so big thanks.
As long as I remember how to do it, it's easy enough. Got to remember to let Chex have an interview. Got to push the button. All right, so there are other no logic games going on probably right now. They probably did not finish as fast as this one. Those are probably on SpeedGaming's 5 and 6, I think I saw it was. That is correct. So you can check those out if you want more no logic. I think there may even be races today, but I have so much open, I'm not going to try to find those at the moment. So, that I think will be it for us this afternoon. Have a good day, everybody.